Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Give everybody a couple minutes. Interesting. You know, the market wants to collapse. It wants to collapse. It wants to teach people a lesson in stupidity. And it's going to do it. It's going to do it. I mean, everything, the techs are all down. I mean, everything is falling off a cliff and they're going to destroy the banks. Let me tell you, the earnings for the banks next week can absolutely crush the market. And JP Morgan is next. JP Morgan is not paying any interest. They're basically paying zero interest. They're paying a little bit, but why wouldn't every single person in the world that has 100,000 take at least 50 out of JP Morgan and put it into treasuries, right? Just waiting for people, so I'm just kind of rambling here, okay? So wait a second. Another 3 minutes here. So new time, and the reason we picked 7:25 is because you always get this news at 7:30, right? So when we get the news at 7:30, then we can do what we need to do based on that news, right? And West Coast, everybody gets an extra, 30 minutes, not the full hour because we wouldn't have enough time then if we did it the West Coast time all the time to do everything else we need to do. So let's see those SPXs. Does it get to 40.50? Very possible it gets to 40.50, and then we see. But if this is a risk off day, all you got to do is look at KLAC. It hit 400. It couldn't get through 400. It's down 30. Down 30. Lam Research couldn't get through 533. 533. It's down 50. It's down 50, right? Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So keep an eye on that. That's what we know. So then we see. Okay. Well, we got 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We'll wait for everybody. Make sure everybody gets on here again, and then we get going. So snow, huge reversal. Now looks good for a couple weeks out, maybe next week, maybe a week out. But we got the jobs, and let me tell you, the info now has changed. So if the jobs come in negative, they're going to collapse the market. It's down 150. But we wanted a low jobs, but not anymore because now they say, now Bullard can change this today. He can change this whole thing. But if Bullard comes out and says, we're going to raise rate, think about what they said. What Powell said, did he lie again? I think Powell lied to everybody again, and people let him lie. He said, we're going to be data dependent. Well, the data yesterday said prices paid were lower. And these guys on TV are saying, yeah, but they're lower, but they're not way lower. They go lower slowly. You don't need to raise anything. But if he raises rates again, then you watch JP Morgan, the bigger banks will start having problems. Why is Goldman Sachs not 280? It may be 280 after earnings. Then we see. I'm good with a collapse. Let's just drop this sucker down 20 SPX right off the bat. We get out and go. FedEx, very nice today. Okay? Okay, let's get started. Okay. New time here, 7:25. We're going to do this one from now on. SPX is negative, but the techs are very weak. It's a risk-off day. They're selling techs again. Look at Microsoft is down. NVIDIA is down. Tesla, we sold the Tesla. God, man, he got us out of Tesla because it was popping, and, it was okay at the end of the day, but it's going to collapse. Under this 183 is 175. Amazon, huge fail. Microsoft, fail. Now, fail. Snow, fail. KLA, huge. The chips are telling you something bad is about to happen, okay? Lam Research down 50, KLA down 30, okay? So just know that. Just watch it. Now, in actuality, the news is very bullish. It's what it's saying is they can stop raising rates. But here's the problem. The news, even though the data says is bullish, they don't think the Fed and Powell is listening to the data. They think they're going to screw this up. So that's what's changed. That's what's changed. Okay? I mean, why wouldn't Bullard come out today and say, wait a second, prices paid came down, we may not have to raise? That's what he needs to say. But if he says we're still going up, we're going to raise more, they're going to collapse this thing down 20 handles just like that on SPX. Then we see. But worse yet, they're going to take everything out of tax. Now, there's a good side of snow going down and now going down, all this stuff going down. Okay, quiz. Let's give you quizzes. What's the good side of that right now? What's the good side of that? I'll tell you what the good side is. If let's say we crater again, snow goes to 141, 130, 131, whatever it is, and we buy them again as soon as the Fed starts coming up for the pivot, or if they say that they're going to stop, because the news is bullish. Then they run like you haven't seen, and we catch that same thing, 1,000% winner, 1,000% winner. Okay? So they're very interesting. So you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. So we sold all these. Look, NOW, we sold the 460s one day. We sold the 475s one day. The 485s were 70 cents to $5. Next week's were triple. Amazon was a double. Everything was up. But what you do is you sell it. So let's say you make 100 grand and you say, I'm going to keep 20 in. And then the 20 may work or may not work, right? That's trading. That's trading. Trading. You decide. Okay? Interesting. Okay, our SPX are up 1 if you want to take the profit there. But I think this is a Bullard day. Bullard can fix this and we have a massive rally, or they're going to take this way down because they believe that no matter what happens with it. So think about what happens tomorrow with the jobs. If the jobs is high and we get a good jobs number, they're going to say, oh, no recession, but the Fed's going to hike anyway. Well, that's bad. And if we get a really bad jobs number, which is say goes negative, they're going to say, oh, recession is about to start and the Fed's still going to jack anyway. It's a negative. So tomorrow's a negative. I don't see a positive there unless Bullard changes it. But Powell lied. Powell lied to you. He told you data dependent. Data dependent means some Yahoo like this Meister lady who knows zero. Well, so many Fed people know zero. They know less than zero. Why would you come out when the data starts going negative and saying we still need to raise? Why don't you say what the chairman said? We're data dependent, and if the data gets worse, we won't raise. If the data gets better, we'll raise. I mean, one way or the other, right? I mean, if you're data dependent, think about it. So that's the issue the market is having today. Okay, and they don't understand the cliff. There's a cliff. But see, we caught the pop, which was great this week. And then we see. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. 4-6. Stocks go up, stocks go down. SPX down 2. That puts it at 40.88. You got 41.06 upside, 40.76 to the downside, and then 40.50. Okay? Avago. Chips look bad right now. 621, 609 needs 649. Now, remember, Bullard can change this today. Bullard can make everything positive if he only says one thing. And this is, if he has any brains, now he may be a complete moron too. Okay? Here's what he needs to say. We're evaluating the data, and we're going to react to what the data is. If he just comes out and says, no, we need a terminal rate of 525 or 550 or 5.6 or 7, but we're going to raise no matter what, then he's not looking at the data. And the market will punish the market. Okay? That's what we know. Okay? NVIDIA. 263 held, and it popped way back up. Now, if Bullard doesn't fix his market, it's going to go back to 263. Then you got 257, then we wait for earnings, then we see. Okay? Lam Research. Very weak I mean, this one hit almost a complete breakout, 533, and drops 50. Drops 50. Didn't drop 20, dropped 50. Okay? SPX is ripping. 650 on those, up 2. Okay? Interesting. Manage your account. Interesting. Let's see, line research. KLAC, very weak. 271, 252. FedEx, great interview. Why is FedEx? So here's the thing on FedEx. Okay, they made 310 the first quarter this year, then 340, 350, something like that. You add them up, 333, just a swag, 9 plus the cents, you get $10. Then they guided to 450 to 550. So the fourth quarter has to be, if you're going to guide to 1450, if you made 10, it's got to be 450 for the fourth quarter, 450 to 550. So instead of making $3, you're going to make $5. So if you're going to make $5 and you times that by 4, that's 20. Times that by 15, 20 by 15, PE is 300. So we got this yesterday. See if it pops to 233 and then 236. If the market collapses, they'll take it back down. Then we use next week's. But they're going to open right now. If they were to open now, they'd be $3 from 1. So nice play. Manage your account. Okay. Goldman Sachs. Love this one for earnings. You can go 2 weeks out on the 300s. Become very interesting. I think the banks collapse next week. Okay. Meta. 211, 216. Snowman, 151, 141 down. OIH, 288, 296 up. 281 down. MDB, weak again, 209, 206. NOW, 476, 482 now the beast number. 482. Through 482 explodes. Netflix, I think Netflix is going to miss. I think the password sharing isn't working, and I think they're going to miss. Okay, very interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll look at the 300s because this got to 270 and it just 370 and it can't get back to Microsoft. The strongest of the strong is now getting weak. There goes SPX. Okay. Strongest. Did some news come out? Did ADP or something come out? If somebody can, there it is. Initial jobs 228 versus 2 to 500. To up 6,000. Okay. If somebody can just let me in. Okay, good. 620. Come on, give me 10 fast. Okay. And then we get out. Nice double right off the bat. Okay. Where were we at? I think I did that. Microsoft. We did Microsoft. Microsoft 288, 292 under 279. UNH. Ripper. This looks like 522 could happen next week. Stunningly hard 522. Okay? Underneath 491. Amazon failed. Every day. Amazon, the last 3 times it ripped, you had 1 day to catch a double. And we had the double. If you don't sell it, it goes to shit. Okay? Tesla, weaker. If you held the Teslas, you had a great hedge. It was perfectly 182, 179, 171. Tesla's doing some bad stuff. I told you so. I know somebody had the car. You call up the Tesla phone number, and they don't answer. And then it takes 4 hours to get a tow truck. Well, you're paying $100,000 or more for these cars, and he's cutting costs at all these places where he shouldn't be cutting costs. Can't do that. Why? So they put the car on sale to sell it. It's just said, screw it, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this shit. When customers do that, they don't come back. They'll never come back. They'll never, ever, ever buy a Tesla again if you piss somebody off. I'm telling you. If you go buy a Mercedes and it breaks down on the highway, you sell it, you never buy a Mercedes again. Never. You just don't. Okay? That's the world we live in. So if you piss people off, then you get smoked. SPX got a little bit better. You had 650, you had a double. You didn't have a double, you had 2 puts. Okay? So that's Tesla. Okay? Enphase. Watch Enphase. This thing, the last few Fridays, 3, 4, 5 Fridays, it moves a lot. In 4 of the 5 times, it moves down 10. Very interesting. Actually like the 190s that open if you can get it for 20 cents. 10 or 20 cents. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. That's what we know. That's what we know. Okay. Okay, this is the new time slot. Everybody have a good trade day. See you in chat.